The 3 hidden signs she's checking out, a psychological deep dive. This is a transcript examining the subtle, yet powerful, psychological shifts that can signal a woman is preparing for or has already engaged in infidelity. We are not focusing on what she says, but on her changing behavior patterns, which often betray her words long before she admits to any issue. Understanding these signs is crucial for self-awareness, not for confrontation. They are signals that the emotional connection is being severed, and she is building a narrative to justify an exit.
1.
Crossed swords the need for justification. She picks fights for no reason. This is arguably the most disorienting and painful sign. Before a woman can justify violating a committed relationship, she must first create a compelling internal story that absolves her of guilt. You become the unwitting participant in this narrative. The psychological mechanism, reframing. Cheating rarely begins with malice. It begins with the need for self-preservation and validation. She needs to transform her action from a betrayal into a reaction or liberation. To achieve this, she must emotionally distance herself from you and assign blame. By picking arguments over a dish, a text, or an old mistake, she collects emotional evidence to support her new internal narrative. He doesn't care. He treats me poorly, or I deserve more. The shift in conflict dynamics. Previously, disagreements had a shared goal, resolution. Now, the goal is provocation. She is not seeking to solve a problem. She is seeking fuel for her guilt-alleviating story. Irrelevance of topics. Arguments feel random and disproportionate to the offense. Historical weaponization. Old, resolved issues are suddenly dragged out, serving only as ammo. Evasion of solutions. If you try to calmly resolve the conflict, she resists because a resolution destroys the wall of conflict she is trying to build between you two. She is creating a preemptive exit strategy where she leaves as the victim, not the betrayer.
2.
Smiling face with halo, the guilt management strategy. She becomes overly nice out of nowhere. This sign is paradoxical. It feels like improvement, but it often masks a deeper problem. After successfully creating distance through conflict or while pursuing an external connection, a feeling of guilt inevitably sets in. This guilt, stemming from the violation of her own values, manifests as overcompensation. The psychological mechanism, emotional balancing. She tells herself, yes, I am doing something wrong, the external connection, but look how much good I am doing here, the overniceness. She is attempting to balance the moral scale in her mind. The sudden kindness is not genuine closeness, it is guilt management. It's her way of saying, without saying it, I still care enough to be kind, so I can't be a completely bad person. The disconnection. The sweetness feels jarring because it is disconnected from any real, mutual effort to reconnect or address underlying relationship issues. It is a solo performance designed to soothe her own internal conflict. Overnight change. The shift is sudden, without gradual build-up. Avoiding real talk. She actively avoids deep conversations or arguments because conflict would make her feel like a hypocrite, breaking the fragile illusion that everything is fine. The mask. She is wearing a mask of affection that allows her to feel justified in her double life, a life she is hiding behind the kindness. 3. Mobile phone, the vault of secrecy. She suddenly guards her phone. The third sign is the physical manifestation of her newly separated emotional life. Her phone transforms from a simple device into a vault of state secrets, a lifeline to her alternative world. The psychological mechanism, maintaining the illusion. Secrecy is vital because the external connection, whether purely emotional or physical, thrives in the dark. The moment that world is exposed, the guilt becomes impossible to ignore, and she is forced to confront the reality of her actions. By aggressively guarding her phone, she is not just protecting the conversations, she is protecting the illusion that she is a loyal partner. The behavioral indicators. Any sudden change in phone habits that increases opacity is a red flag, especially if this was never her style before. Proximity. The phone is always within arm's reach, even when charging or when in the safety of her home. Orientation. It's always face down to prevent accidental visibility of notifications. Defensiveness. Simple questions about who she's texting are met with hostility or a sudden need to defend her privacy. Physical separation. Taking the phone on short trips to the bathroom or out of the room when receiving a text. This obsessive protection is driven by one thing: the fear of being caught. Scroll conclusion. From reaction to action. These three shifts, the irrational fight for justification, the sudden kindness of guilt, and the aggressive secrecy of the phone, do not happen in a vacuum. They are signals that she has emotionally checked out and is actively constructing a reality where she can leave without feeling like the villain. The lesson here is not to become paranoid, but to be discerning. You are not responsible for her choices, but you are responsible for how you respond to reality. If the core emotional dynamic of your relationship has shifted, if conflict serves to push you away, kindness feels like a distraction, and communication has gone dark, it is a clear sign that a powerful internal process is underway. Recognizing these signs allows you to move from reacting to her symptoms to taking thoughtful action to protect your own dignity and future.